There's gotta be a way where I can stop making videos. This is too much production and I'm too busy this month. I have to stop making videos. I don't know what's going on. Wait, this is on. Why is this recording? What is going... Hi. Okay. Hi. Welcome to today's episode of Cold Hard Complaints Off-Topic. Today we're going to be talking about The Haunting of Hill House, which is a new Netflix original series that just came out that I really want to talk about. We're going to do this over here. Let's transition. Hi, I'm back with another video because I'm in some sort of hell situation where I can't exit this office without making a video for some reason. Today we're going to be talking about a new Netflix series that just came out, because I always cover Netflix series because they're just easy to watch and talk about. You watch it all, you come into the room, you try to look up how to stop making videos, you fail at that, and the camera starts rolling anyway, so here we are. Now this is October, the ode to all things spooky, and on this blessed month, Netflix has graced us with a new series called The Haunting of Hill House. Now, The Haunting of Hill House is based off a book that I have not read and know nothing about. I'm not going to concern myself with that. I'm just going to talk about the show. So this show is about a family who moves into a house called the Hill House outside Boston, somewhere in Massachusetts. After the family moves in, they begin to experience weird things that happen around the house, seeing ghosts, having weird experiences happen in all sorts of ways. It's a house haunting scenario. And there's plenty of things like that. There are The Conjuring, Amityville Horror, those kind of movies. It's a whole genre. You move into a house with your family, everything's nice and happy, and it turns out, oops, there's a ghost. Or a poltergeist, or something. This show is different in a way in that it is very much a family drama. So it's about the family, both during, and it covers far into the distant future, about 20 years after they move out of the house. And the show goes back and forth, dealing with both the current, the now, and revealing what happened to them then. Not everything in this show is laid out from the beginning of what happened, obviously, because it's a horror, it's a suspense movie, and you find out what happened when they were staying in this house and how it's affected them and how it's traumatized them. Now, I'm not going to talk much about the story. This is definitely a story you don't want to know a lot about before you go see it, because it's really good. It's a really good show. I'm just gonna say it right there. I highly recommend this show. The concept is very simple. Family in haunted house dealing with haunted things. That's all I'm gonna tell you based on the plot. The rest of the things I wanna talk about is what makes this show so good, because that's a very simple, easy concept. What the show does with that and how the show presents itself is what I wanna talk about. The filmmaking, the writing, the acting, the directing, everything about this show is excellent, and I wanna dive into it a bit just to tell you why this show is different than any like Amityville Horror or The Conjuring kind of movie. What sets this thing apart? What makes this something you should really watch? I'm gonna be blatantly honest here. I'm working on a video right now that's covering 4 horror movies of an 8 horror movie set that I covered the first 4 last year. And I'm doing the next 4 as part of a Halloween thing, right? I'm working on that video now. And I didn't want to make anything else because I want to focus on that because I have 2 conventions coming up this month. I'm really busy. It's one of those shows where I can't not talk about it. I can't not praise it because this is an excellent TV show. The first thing I want to talk about is the directing, the camera work. There is some excellent camera work in this show. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the show does play a lot with time, right? You're in the present, you see the past, you see the present, you see the past. And that's a lot of shows are like that, like Lost is like that. Lost is probably one of the best examples modern day to explain that, but there's flashbacks that you flash back. Nice and simple. But the way they direct this show and how it feels kind of dreamlike at times. There's episodes where everything feels and flows together to make things feel like a dream. And that dreamlike feeling adds into the distortion and kind of crazy feeling you get from this ghost story. Because ghost stories, they're confusing in a way. That's what they're supposed to be. What's happening is confusing. What's happening is weird. What's happening is different. And every ghost story tries to make itself be confusing but clear in a way, if you know what I mean. Because there's being intentionally confusing and making it hard to understand what's going on and making your mind race like, how is this happening? What's the secret? What's the mystery? And then there's movies that just are blatantly confusing and don't write out enough. They just have a bunch of plot holes. And plot holes themselves aren't that big of an issue, but when plot holes make a story incomprehensible, as some movies tend to get, that's when it becomes a real issue. This TV show, this 10-part TV show, does not have an issue with that. It is incredibly well written, incredibly thought out. There are subtle hints and callbacks throughout the show, that just little small things that if you keep your eyes out, you'll notice them, and it'll blow your fucking mind. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what those are. You have to keep your eyes open for it. You have to pay attention. And I'm telling you, pay attention, because this show has things hidden all over the frame. There's also a lot of child actors in this, which is usually a red flag, because child actors shaky sometimes they're pretty shaky. But the child actors in this are really well directed. They do a great job of understanding and conveying their points. Sometimes it's a little shakiness in a line read, but there's nothing noticeable. They really pull off their performances, and it's really impressive to get that kind of performance out of child actors, especially in horror movies. In horror movies, when you have kids trying to display a whole wide range of emotions, that's difficult, and this movie really pulls off having those children be really believable. There's a lot of great adult acting too, and a lot of great monologues that characters have. There's a great family drama aspect to this, right? So a lot of what this TV show is, in the modern day, it's dealing with the trauma of the children living in that kind of environment, that ghost house. Which is a really interesting thing you don't really see a whole bunch, how the family interacts with each other and how each one of the family deals with the trauma they got from the house. And each one of the children have their own distinct problems, their own distinct coping mechanisms, and their own distinct issues. Each one has an individual personality and something that they're excelling at, something that they're very solid at, and something that they're very weak at. One of them has their boundaries up too high. One of them likes to be dismissive about everything that's going on. Others just have problems being trustworthy. Others just want to railroad conversations to make everything their point. And that feels genuine. And it's very interesting to see how they captured that family dynamic. Because the family dynamic they get in this show is really dead on for a family of that size. And it's an exceptional part of the show. Their family dynamic makes this show. It is what is great about this show. It is a horror movie and a family drama all put into one. The lighting in this show and the color in this show are also really well done. There's different shades, there's different uses of cool and warm temperatures they have in this show that are excellently done, expertly done. And there's such a great use of using your color and using the darkness sometimes to hide little smaller details, and when you notice them, you go, oh fuck, what the fuck? One of my favorite scares in all of horror movies that I've watched was in the original Halloween by John Carpenter, one of my favorite directors. In the original Halloween, there's a scene where Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Myers is in the house, he's chased her, and she's breathing, she's trying to catch her breath. She leans up against a wall, right? Because she feels like she's safe. She's got a moment, she can breathe, and when she leans up against the wall, you see that the door next to her is open. And as the camera light adjusts, you see that Michael Myers is standing right behind her. That is still one of my favorite scares of all time. That is still one of my favorite ways to do things. Those small things, those things that you notice on your own, those things that you finally look at, you're like, wait, is that? Oh wait, I think that's, oh God, no. That realization is gold. I love when shows do that. I love when movies do that. This series does this excellently. They excel at this. They rule that concept. The camera work is so fucking good. There are so many long shots they do in this show. They have very long shots where you're following the character, moving around with them, seeing things come into focus, go out of focus. And it's so interesting the way they do that, and it's so dreamlike, and it feels like you're in the moment, and it builds it and makes you earn those moments. It is excellent camera work, excellent cinematography, and those are just key aspects you want out of a horror movie like this. There's not much else I can say about it, because I'm not telling you anything about the plot. Nothing at all. It's a family in a house dealing with the trauma of being in a ghost house. Watch it based off of that. That's all you need. It's got some great scares in it. It's got some great family drama in it. It's got some excellent acting, fantastic direction, awesome camera work, great acting. I just love some of the scenes in this. Some great monologues come out of this show. And I think that's all I have to say. This might be a little bit of a quicker episode than normal, just because, again, I'm not talking about the plot. Just go see this show. It's excellent. You're gonna love it. I absolutely loved it. It's a great show. Get your Netflix up and watch The Haunting of Hill House. It's definitely worth your time. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked more videos, you want to see more videos from me, well, then you can just click that subscribe button. It'll be in the end screen in about a minute here. And you can also watch other videos from me. I do other videos. And also I'm gonna have a video coming out fairly soon about me covering some really bad movies. I watched most of them yesterday. They're bad, and you don't want to watch them, but you're going to want to watch me talking about them, because it's pretty great. Like this video if you like it, comment this video if you have anything to say about The Haunting of Hill House, or your own favorite horror movies. Again, thank you very much for watching, and you just have a nice day, and stay rad.